Before I speak, I would like to thank and welcome all of you who have attended here tonight. The title of this message is called Bechukotai and Opportunities in Life. The message of the Bechukotai Torah portion, which we read tonight, is simple. If you obey the laws and commandments of God, your agricultural production will succeed, you will enjoy peace and military success, your population will grow, and your relationship with God will succeed. If, however, you do not obey the laws and commandments of God, you will suffer a long litany of horrors. The basic commandments are set forth in the book of Exodus chapter 20. They entail belief in the one God, avoiding false swearing, keeping the Sabbath, honoring one's parents, not murdering, not committing adultery, not stealing or bearing false witness, and not coveting. The difficulty with simple obedience to the laws and commandments of God is, although it prevents us from engaging in conduct which negatively affects others, it does not lead us to conduct which would improve our individual lives. Here I turn surprisingly to the words of the late George Washington Plunkett, who was born in 1842 and died in 1924. You probably never heard of him. He was a former New York State senator, but he was better known as a leader of Tammany Hall, the Democratic Party political machine which controlled political patronage in New York City. He is best known for his comments about graft, using one's position for political gain. To Plunkett, dishonest graft was blackmailing people, but honest graft was exemplified by such activities as buying land before it became known to the public it had been earmarked for a public park and then selling it for a profit. With reference to honest graft, Plunkett said, and I quote, "I seen my opportunities and took them." There is a positive meaning in this message. It is not that we should engage in political corruption, but we should seek the types of opportunities that improve our lives and take advantage of these opportunities. Tonight, I will tell you about the 3 best opportunities I took to improve my life. Enlisting in the California Army National Guard, attending a social event where I met Karen, and becoming the senior assistant city attorney of the city of Sunnyvale. It was June 1966. I had just graduated law school. The war in Vietnam was at its peak. The military draft was in effect. I had not yet fulfilled my military obligation. I might have become an officer in the Judge Advocate General's office, but that would have created a 4-year delay in my commencement of civilian law practice. I started as a musical performer by learning to play clarinet in junior high. I continued in the high school band and in the Cal band at UC Berkeley. My high school friend, Bob Bobrow, was a fellow musician. He told me of an opportunity to enlist in the band of the 49th Infantry Division of the California Army National Guard. We enlisted in August 1966 for a 6-year obligation consisting of attending weekly meetings, serving 6 months of active duty for training, and attending a 15-day summer camp session each year. My enlistment enabled me to begin my civilian legal practice only 2 months after I completed active duty. Taking advantage of this opportunity enabled me to serve my country in a manner advantageous to my legal career. In the National Guard band, I met Frank James, whose friendship I shared for 58 years until his passing last year. Frank talked me into joining Newark Symphonic Winds, a 40-member band which has provided me an opportunity to continue my musical performance for the last 5 years. I'm proud to announce that this band is performing tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Newark Memorial High School. You're all invited to attend. Nice. It's free to the public, no tickets and no reservations. Now we come to June 6, 1967. I had completed basic training in the Army National Guard and had started advanced individual training in the Oakland Army Base. Initially, I did not have a bed in my unit, so I was staying at my parents' house in San Francisco. I received a postcard announcing an educational and social event on June 6th at the JCC in San Francisco. I convinced myself that I should go. Some thought, well, maybe I'm tired. I've been out. I should go to this because I've been out of social circulation for 3 months. On that night of June 6th, I met my wife, Karen. My decision to take the opportunity to attend a social event resulted in a marriage which has lasted for 57 years, and exactly 40 years after the day we met, our younger grandson was born. My third opportunity occurred in 1985. I had become city attorney of San Bruno in 1980. In my position, I was required to attend 4 night meetings per month. The city had granted the operator of a golf driving range the right to install lights. At the time, a new adjacent 19-unit residential development had not yet been occupied. The operator had been granted his installation permit, but he had also applied for another approval from the city. This approval became the subject of a city council meeting that was attended by the local residents of the 19 units that were finally occupied. They demanded that the granting of the lighting permit be rescinded. I advised the council they could not do this legally, to the great chagrin of these citizens. In another incident, I was having a conversation with a city councilwoman, and she told me that one of the citizen activists had told her that a proposed modification of a building in a major shopping center, which is namely Tanforan Mall, required a vote of the people of the city under an initiative ordinance that was passed several years before. I told her the activist was wrong, but the councilwoman repeated the allegation, and I angrily made the same reply. In the third incident, at the agenda of a city council meeting, there was a report that the city parking committee had recommended imposing parking restrictions on a street bordering a major apartment development. I stated I would have to prepare an ordinance approving this. The city council was not happy with the fact that this was going to be delayed another 2 weeks. The problem here was not really my fault. Although the city council had previously been satisfied with my work for the first 4 years of my service, the 3 incidents I reported above resulted in them giving me a 2% raise for the ensuing year, while the other employees were receiving a 7% raise. I had an opportunity to apply for a newly created position of Senior Assistant City Attorney of the City of Sunnyvale. My duties consisted of writing major contracts and handling disciplinary actions. I was no longer required to go to evening meetings of the City Council or Planning Commission. I stayed in this position for 13 years, and my service was so well regarded, I received a 10% performance bonus every year. The idea that we should avail ourselves of our opportunities is also encompassed in the values of Judaism. Rabbi Hillel, who lived in the first quarter of the first century of the Common Era and was the foremost master of biblical commentary, is famously known for the following quote: "If I am not for myself, who will be for me?" The rabbi emphasized the importance of self-reliance and taking responsibility for one's own well-being. Our lives are enriched when we seek to avail ourselves of the opportunities we have. My opportunities were in military service, marriage, and work advancement. Yours may be in other areas. We all should avail ourselves of opportunities to improve the world. So when our lives reach their culminations, we should be able to say, in the words of George Washington Plunket, "I've seen my opportunities and took them." Thank you.